Krista's going to tell us the story of how the Lutheran Church got a botanist involved to, let's see if she's here somewhere.
I love that. You had one of the best floats, in my opinion. So tell me about Kristen started to say something earlier today about that they used to only have fresh flowers until you guys needed a Bible.
Okay, so what happened is we've been in the float. This is Lutheran Hour Ministries through the Lutheran Laymen's League, which is kind of like a club, a ministry club, an organization that helps support Lutheran Hour Ministries, all volunteer. Started something here by having a parade float 74 years ago. And then about 10 years in, one of the women in the group, who is a leader, said, we should start an organization called Pedal Pushers, because we push petals, because that was back when pedal pushers, you know, the short pants were in style. She says we should put Pedal Pushers and make that organization. So now we have t-shirts. She also innovated the entire parade with t-shirts. She printed the t-shirts for Pedal Pushers. The organizers of the overall parade said, that is brilliant, let us sell some. So they started doing that, so that was cool. She was very clever. She was kind of like Jeff Bezos of the float world, right? The innovator, right? She didn't become a billionaire, but she did go to. She will someday go to see Jesus. Okay, that's what she does all of this for. So then one year we couldn't get the black petals from. It was either the black roses, black tulips, or both. They just weren't available because there was some kind of a blight or disease. And we had ordered them, but she said, oh, okay, I'm a farmer's daughter. We can do this. What's black? She says, oh, onion seeds. Onion seeds are black. They could glue on easy. They're alive. They're organic. She went to the parade organizers who said, nope, they're not alive. She goes, a seed is way more alive than all the compost we're putting on these floats, right? Everything else is cut and it's just going to rot. A seed will grow and bring life, right? She germinated the seed. She talked to a botanist, got it right up, found some literature about, and that showed at the library that showed the seeds and the flowers. And all of a sudden it was like, yes, that is a flower. That is good. Let's go. And so she put it on, and that changed the nature of how all the floats could be decorated. Now we have beans and peas and lentils. We have ground up lentils. We've got rice. Almost all the white on the angels is rice. And on these flowers. And on the roof. But if you want to know about the purples, that's something called status. And they're little tiny bunches of flowers that when we have to cut them. And when we cut them, they end up being these little tiny flowers that are smaller than half of your pinky fingernail. So imagine how many hours of cutting we're doing to get these different colors. And it takes about an hour to cut about a cup of that. And this is straw flower, and the straw flower is cut from a flower about this big, but it has a really big center that we can't use. So when we cut those off, it takes about an hour to get a cup and a half of those because they're a little bit larger. But think about not just our float, but all the other floats that use these materials, right?
The army float is just covered in parsley.
Okay.
That's all parsley.
It's parsley, and then on the ship, okay, coating for veterans, that is, coating for veterans. On the ship is this, right here. This is called silver leaf, and it's greenish, but then one side sort of shines, and it's about as metallic as you're going to get with an organic material.
On some of the other floats.
Yes.
Because I think that's what the mixer is on Trader Joe's. Right?
Yes. Yeah. We did it on there too, and it's on the Illinois float with Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's the frame around George Seurat's pointillism painting. That's the silver leaf. Every single rose must be vialed. So what happens is we've got an army of people who come in and fill these little vials and put the lids on and stick them in buckets of water. They wait until we have a crew. The crew comes and we rough cut a bunch of these roses, just rough cut them so that they're shorter, easier to work with. Then we strip the foliage. So yes, the Lutheran float has strippers. So does every other float. That's what they're called. People who strip the foliage, then we clip the base, then we dip it into here, and then we stick this into a tray that has foam on it, and we stick them in. Those trays become the palettes that we use to paint our floats. We paint with flowers and foliage, right? And so then these are stuck in. Underneath all this floral stuff, there's foam.
Oh yeah, okay, everybody uses a little bit.
Okay, and we paint the foam so you can see the overall design. So we know where to put these light purple roses, the bright pinks, light pinks, reds, greens, whatever, you know, we need to put in there. And it's really cool. All of these are stuck on with something that's called a floral pin. The floral pin is like a staple. It's like a really big staple that looks like that, and you just stick it into the foam and it holds this on just enough. Kind of, I mean, all the black is put in. That is onion seed, that's that innovation. Okay, and then the stone is lettuce seed. And then we have status, we've got rice, we've got different kinds of seeds that are all put on all these stained glass windows.
How do you get the seed on there?
We use glue. And okay, so what we do is we take a box like this that has the seed in, or that has this in it. So let me demonstrate on here. It's filled with this flower stuff, right? We put this underneath because we want to catch every last little petal we can. That was a lot of hours of cutting. We have painted on the glue. We pick it up and we go just like this. It's like painting with your hand, and you let it go. And then you keep painting, painting, painting till you're done.
What kind of glue?
Just like white glue. It's called floral glue, but it's kind of like Elmer's, like glue, like white glue. But behind these mums, we have something called Oasis glue. Oasis glue is kind of like what the printing industry calls booger glue. It's how your credit cards come to you or your health care cards come in the mail. They're stuck with that. It's really like it's a clear rubber cement that doesn't have as much smell. We put a little dollop on each of those mums, and we put it on the background. We wait till it's tacky and stick it on. Otherwise the flowers would just go bloop and fall off. So it has to be tacky and they stick together. We only do that with mums and other flowers that are kind of hardy like that. The carnations over here on the wreath and also on the roof, those are dead-headed, they're cut. We stick a toothpick in it, and then we stick the toothpick directly in because carnations are really resilient. So they hold their water pretty well for a few days. Okay, even in the bright sunshine, they're not looking too horrible yet. Tomorrow they're gonna look a little,
How about the seeds in the ribbon there?
Behind the dove, okay. This color is called cranberry seed. There's more of this straw flower and the yellow flowers, the slightly orange flower. Over here, the orange, the bright orange on the edge of the lilies over here. Way up at the top, that's a different color straw flower that we've cut and put in there. We have some parsley, the green, the dark green is the parsley. The light green is either green lentils, and I think it's actually split peas ground up. And I think the light green over here is the lentils, the green lentils. It is so much work to put the straw flower on and all those things. We don't dye anything. Everything's naturally colored. All these panels and the smaller ones in front will all come down, and we're going to take them to different ministries and organizations that have been supportive. We're going to use them to demonstrate what people do. And they're just beautiful works of art in their own right. Those are designed by an artist on our committee. I'm on the planning committee for the floats. This is my second year for the Lutheran Hour Ministries float committee but Lutheran Hour Ministries does not give any money toward this. It's all volunteer driven.
What is the 1996 record?
Okay, so 1996 on this middle one, the theme of that particular float that year was Jesus welcomes and blesses the little children. So the whole float was about that. And this is just a depiction of that to kind of bring back some memories for people who've been doing this for many years. Over here, 2000. Over on the side by 9 o'clock, you'll see 2000. So the parade float was Easter that year. We started off with the idea of baptism because the best day ever is when we become a child of God. And we are reminded that in our baptism. But most people have a really good day at Christmas. So we went with what would be more relatable to people.